Hey guys, welcome. This is a general reading for the collective of Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. So let me tell you what to expect from this reading. This series of readings is all about Pluto moving into Aquarius. This will happen for the first time on March 23rd. That's in the morning, like 8:15 a.m. or somewhere around that on the east coast of the U.S. So find where it's happening in your neck of the woods. Pluto will move out of Capricorn and into Aquarius and sit at that 0-degree point all the way until June 11th, and then we'll turn around and head back into Capricorn. He'll move backward 29, 28, I think to 27 degrees, then turn around again and re-enters Aquarius on January 20th. And he kind of does this. He's crisscrossing between Aquarius and Capricorn for a while. But once he's fully in Aquarius and moving forward, he will be there until 2044. So it is roughly, on average, a 20-year period that Pluto is in any one sign. So you can imagine when he changes signs, it's a big deal. Pluto is all about our subconscious forces, everything that's below the surface, referred to frequently as the Lord of the Underworld. The plus side of Pluto is he is associated with renewal and rebirth. You can look at the 8th house for themes. Pluto rules Scorpio, which is housed in the 8th house. So think about death and rebirth in the Phoenix rising. That's part of the archetype. So whatever Pluto destroys, and destruction is his favorite pastime, there's a rebuilding and a rebirth that comes after it. It is also a generational planet because it moves so slowly. So the two generational groups that will be most impacted by this 20-year transit are millennials born between 1983 and 1995. At some point, depending on where you have Pluto, and you should all have Pluto in Scorpio, you'll have what's known as a Pluto square. The boomers that have Pluto in Leo, those of you born between 1939 and 1958, you will have what's referred to as your Pluto opposition. None of us are going to have a Pluto return because it takes them 240 years to get around the zodiac, right? So just wanted to make those dates, make you aware of those dates for those of you that are interested, and you can Google for more information. So Pluto in Aquarius. The Aquarius archetype is, first of all, ruled by the planet Uranus, which is very unpredictable. And we like to say, expect the unexpected. Anything can happen and probably will. But it's all about individuality and serving the greater collective. Aquarius rules the 11th house of the collective, of humanity, of large groups. And so Aquarius sort of marches to the beat of their own drum. They're what I call the unicorn of the zodiac, all about getting beyond the predictability of what we refer to as reality. There's potential for enlightened global consciousness wherever Aquarius is. And it's an archetype that challenges all of us to raise our ideals for humanity. And so Pluto moving into that sign, to me, feels like we're going to be smacked into consciousness about how we have to care for each other on this planet. Now, I read for relationships, and you all have been asking me for transit readings. So I'm going to take these archetypes and pare it down and put it into a relationship reading. Even though this Saturn and Pluto both affect us in a collective sense, we are humans having interactions with other people. So that's what we're going to look at. Okay. So also, happy equinox and happy new moon in Aries. Blessings to all. And let's jump in, shall we? Ace of Swords. Ace of Swords is the overall energy for this reading. It's like, oh, light bulb just went on. Very Aquarian energy here. It's a gift of insight. Epiphanies happen whenever the Ace of Swords comes around. It can kind of come out of the blue as well. So what's interesting about this was the card that came out for my new moon in Aries reading. It was the main energy. So you're very much aligned with that Gemini. You could also be here as a cross watcher for a Gemini. The messages sometimes come through directly for you as well. So the first row will be the Aquarian influence. This second row will be Pluto's influence. I'm kind of looking past, present, future. And then we'll see the connection and what it might have in store for you in a general sense. Yes, this little Page of Swords and Eight of Pentacles was prominent. There on the bottom is the King of Swords. King of Swords is Aquarius, but these two cards were prominent in the morning musing for those of you in the channel membership or who have the all access past all the extendeds. These two cards were very prominent, and we'll get to that in a minute. But yeah, I'm feeling like in the past there's been some confusion, maybe mixed messages. I'm feeling some kind of conflict, something outside of your connection, even a sense of competition, or like you have to vie for this person's attention. And going forward, it's time to close out a cycle. This is Aquarius and Capricorn. It's a card of Saturn, and Saturn just moved into Pisces. And in Pisces, Saturn says, ground yourself. Don't keep your head in the clouds. So I feel there's been this progression from confusion to now conflict. And then we're just going to close out that cycle and begin something new. This is very much about freedom, too, with the world. We get to wipe our hands of something and move forward. Now, Pluto's influence, you've been kind of on your own. As I look in the vertical, I see what I'm thinking is an unavailable lover. Sometimes the King of Wands in reverse can come through as an unavailable lover, or someone who wants what they want on their terms. And can be needy at an inconvenient moment, and therefore leaving you with all this confusion. But for Pluto, we have strong energy here right now. Come on, Laura. Around what it is you're trying to manifest for yourself. And I'm seeing as you move forward some stuck energy. In the new moon in Aries reading, this was at the top of the spread, the position that I call conscious awareness, or the crown of the reading. And it did represent that energy of, now where do I go? Now what do I do? I don't know my next best move. So I feel like you're coming out of this energy of feeling like left to your own devices, and you're trying to manifest something better for yourself, which Pluto would applaud, but not really sure how to do it. Overthinking yourself, second guessing yourself, how Gemini, right? And then just the connection. I feel like you've got a lot of curiosity and you're trying to seek information. Notice how this king's back is to the page, and the page is looking like, well, we going to work through this or what? And that's exactly what came through in the morning musing, was some curiosity or uncertainty or needing some clarity around whether or not this is something that can be worked through, or whether it's something you need to move on from. Yeah. And I think you're seeing the light. Okay. So let's jump in. Ace of Swords. Oh my goodness. Yeah, you've got a lot of wisdom here with that Temperance card. I just kind of feel like you've got 1 foot on the ground, 1 foot in the water, which in tarot is our emotions and feelings, but you're grounded, you're starting to have insights, but it's all helping you rise above impatience or energies which would cause you to do something impulsively. It's like, no, this is about self-control and restraint with Temperance. And I feel like the insights you're receiving are helping you keep that energy coming from a higher octave the wisdom that tells you that in time all the energies will come into flow and balance, so there's no reason to rush. I like that. Now let's look at the Aquarian influence. Seven of Cups with the Five of Wands. Wow. Well, we have double Aries here. Aries, Queen of Wands is Aries, as is the Emperor. And I feel like you're coming out of some confusion. You're reclaiming your power, and you're looking at out on the horizon to determine what you want. Now, when I pull from the bottom of the deck, for those of you who are new, welcome. I'm really tapping into unconscious awareness. What's going on in your unconscious realm, in your psyche, or playing out behind the scenes. So we've got divine masculine energy here, and yet we're seeing that there's a conflict. There's a disconnect. It feels tense. I'm feeling tension. I'm feeling overwhelm. I'm feeling confusion. And I feel like you're coming back into your power and saying, what do I want? You might even be curious to know what they want, right? And then what path will get you there, and what has to be set in motion to make that happen. But it feels to me like you're prepared to make a decision for yourself about the path forward. So let's look at the World, which is endings and new beginnings, cycles closing out, new cycles kicking. Oh my God. Yeah, we're closing out the conflict. Wow. No more baby bullshit. Pardon my French, but this Page of Wands underneath, it's like, you know, on some level you're questioning, am I just dealing with a player? You know, am I just dealing with somebody who's just in it for the minute? And if so, that's out, and I'm beginning something new. So the double hit of the World is really powerful here. Super powerful Aquarian energy coming through in the Aquarius influence that I'm, you know, the intentions I set for the spread. And underneath, it's like, you know, what is this? What am I really dealing with here? Thought it was an Emperor, maybe it's not. Maybe it's just a page. But regardless, it feels to me like you're done being toyed with. You're not happy with the conflict. You're not happy with the confusion. And while you're being patient, there's like this clarity coming in that says, oh, you know exactly what's up and exactly what your next move is. So there's no rush. Okay, so let's look at the Nine of Pentacles with the Magician. This is Pluto's influence from the past to the present. Yeah. Definitely you've been sort of in this energy of, I want the love and passion. Could even for some of you been waiting for the timing, divine timing to unfold and bring you someone new, and now you're trying to manifest that, right? Something new and exciting. I'm saying new because of the aces. And I'm also saying new because of all the conflict that exists with someone who's made themselves pretty much unavailable to you. So, and it could be that you've been trying to manifest the right timing for renewing the love and passion in your connection. And now, where are you going to head? So, as Pluto shifts into Aquarius, a confusion will creep in, even if, especially if, I meant to say, there are communication gaps or differences in your connection. So let's look at the Eight of Swords. Exactly. Not knowing if you should wait for some form of reconciliation, feeling kind of stuck. Underneath is the Queen of Pentacles, which is a card, first of all, of self-care. Is a card of like, get things right for you. Get yourself on terra firma. Make sure all your ducks are in a row. Take care of you. Put your own oxygen mask on before you help your neighbor. And if you're feeling at all stuck and wondering, well, how long would I have to wait for some form of reconciliation or my person to return and for us to make peace? Well, it may not happen. So you don't want to stay in a self-imposed prison. So Pluto in Aquarius is going to kind of tell you it's time to bust out of that self-imposed prison. It's not real. You are free to move about the cabin, whether there's reconciliation with this person or not. You can be the victor. This is a victory card in your own life, provided you take the time needed to shore up your own world. Where do you feel solid and stable? What makes, what are your creature comforts? What makes you feel like everything's right in the world for yourself? Nine of Pentacles to the Queen, if you see where I'm going here. From this single kind of, I want the love, I want the passion, I'm trying to manifest that, something that's, definitely my destiny. And now you're like, but I've been in this holding pattern. And now you come through as the Queen. And the Queen takes care of the Queen's business first. So, let's look, your curiosity about the King of Wands. Yeah, this is definitely someone. 3 kings come out here. The king that's missing is the King of Cups, by the way. And we have the Emperor. So when the King of Cups is missing, we know that there's emotional unavailability. We have the King of Wands, the King of Swords. I'm feeling like you've been waiting. You've been waiting and anticipating this person to come in, show up in 3D and have your back and be a viable candidate for a life partnership or at least a long-term relationship. And you got no answers. And you're sitting here left wondering. The Page of Swords is the spire detective of the tarot. So you may feel this desire to kind of, put your finger on the pulse of what's going on with this person. Where are they in their lives? Are they available at all? Am I waiting for nothing? It seems to me like we have all this king energy, but your inner knowing is telling you, no, this just might be someone who's just not as evolved or isn't as invested in a full-blown long-term connection. 8 of Pentacles, 7 of Swords, Queen of Cups, Knight of Pentacles. It's hard to fix breaches of trust on your own. You need someone who's invested in that, right? It's hard to fix deception or feelings or perceptions of betrayal on your own. It can be done. But it takes a long time and a lot of therapy. And that's the impression I get. No matter how much you love this person, Queen of Cups, no matter how open your heart is, no matter how compassionate, it's going to leave a mark if you don't have this person invested. And I see you waiting. And while you're patient, that's fine. But I feel like something's coming through that's opening your eyes to a different reality. Remember, that's part of the Aquarian archetype. And so underneath, we've got the Page of Pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles. And the Knight of Pentacles is about moving forward cautiously with a plan. It's slow moving. So again, I'm feeling patience here, clear-eyed patience with yourself as to how you will move forward, where you go from here. So I like that because I feel as much as you may want to work through things and find some kind of peace with this person and addressing all the conflict and closing it out, I'm not sure you're convinced that they have that same desire. So, difficult energies for sure, but it's kind of coming through for everybody. There is this sense of reality settling in. First, Saturn moved into Pisces on March 7th and stepped into Pisces and says, okay, no more daydreaming. Time to take those dreams and find a way to anchor them into the ground and make them real. So, here we go. Pluto in Aquarius is a different energy, of course, and affects us all differently, but there's also this energy of, well, you've got more things, you've got more people to serve. You have gifts you have to bring to the world. So you have to get settled for yourself, and then you have to close out what no longer serves you. And if you can't make peace in your own backyard, how are you going to have any peace inside yourself? So there feels to me like there is a shift here that is gradually taking you in a new direction. And you're not alone. So let me tell you the astrology, and then before I do that, there is a link in the description box below where I'm going to read for whoever this person is, all our kings minus the King of Cups. What's the dealio for them? What is Pluto in Aquarius teaching them? And then their last row is more about their intentions toward you and the connection going forward. So that's what we'll look at. So we have Sagittarian energy in Temperance. As I said earlier, Queen of Wands and the Emperor are both Aries energy. We have the World twice. That's Aquarius and Capricorn, a card of Saturn. This little Page of Wands is Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Nine of Pentacles is Virgo. This is Jupiter, Sagittarian energy. The Magician is Virgo and Gemini. That is a card of Mercury. We have the Queen of Pentacles is Capricorn. King of Wands is Leo. King of Swords is Aquarius. King of Pentacles is Taurus. The Page of Swords is Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. And the Queen of Cups is Cancerian energy and Virgo in the Knight of Pentacles. So that's what I have for you, Gemini. Really interesting that your energy comes through smack in the middle of the nine card spread, which is all the power goes right there in that vortex. So Magician's energy, what you can manifest, is very powerful right now, and it's a new moon. So set some intentions for what you're releasing, what you're prepared to close out, and what you intend to move toward, consciously and with a plan. The link to the extended is below. I'll see you there in a second. Otherwise, bye for now.